So let it be written. So let it be done.
What's going on, underdogs? It's the Underdog Research Channel. I'm so happy to be here. Let me make sure we're all good. I hope everything is going great. I have been trying to get this research out to you since last week. It has been crazy. Everything that could go wrong has went wrong. I can't get this research out to you. I am happy, though, that I'm here today to do that. I hope everyone's great. Let me get right into it. Plume token. Very first series, I told you about this project. No one was talking about it. Still, no one's talking about it. But lots of people in the institutional side know about it. How do I know that? Because there's millions upon millions of dollars that has been poured into this project. Now, what is it? The 5,000 overview. For those who've never heard of Plume token, I'm going to give it to you in 15 seconds. If you think about the thing that you keep hearing about in the news, real world assets, what does that mean? That means you take something that you normally don't get something from and you make value of it. What do I mean by that? So let's say you have a house, and let's say that house, you have $100,000 house. I don't know where you got a $100,000 house from, but just stick with me for this conversation. And let's say you just got in that house and you was in there for 1 year. And let's say during the course of that 1 year, you paid $1,000 per month for your mortgage. And still, I don't know where you're living in America for a $100,000 house and a $1,000 a month mortgage, but still stay with Underdog. And at the end of the year, you got $12,000 that you have invested in this $100,000 house. What's left? Well, we know that you have a mortgage you have to still pay on it, but you did put $12,000 on this house. So if you think about it, you have ownership of this house to $12,000 worth. Now, let's say you was to divide that $100,000 into the $12,000 that you paid. It would tell you the percentage of ownership you have in that house. Now, this is what a real world asset would do in that scenario. You take a real world asset, you would say, let's say in that instance, you own 12% of that house. You could take that 12% and you can go to a company like BlackRock or Hampton Lane. And you could say, company, I normally wouldn't be able to get anything out of this, and I don't want to put another mortgage on this house. So what I'm asking you to do is look at the fact that I paid $12,000 on this house, and I want to get a loan or something back from it. I want to invest this $12,000 and make it equity. Can you tokenize that for me? Is there a system you have that you can give me value for what I paid on that house? And so this big institutional investor says, I got you. I tell you what I'm going to do. Since your house has 12 payments of it, 12 months, and you own 12% of it, this is how we're going to raise money. We're going to take 1% of the 12% you own, and we're going to break that down in small itty-bitty pieces, and we're going to call that tokenization. And that 1%, we're going to invest in the market. And you live in a nice area, in a nice place, and there's a lot of people who are not homeowners or real estate people who are in houses. And since you don't really own your house outright, what we'll do is we'll let them take that little 1% and we'll say, listen, this house is in a good location. You take this 1%, for every dollar you spend, we will promise to give you back 10% yield on that dollar. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking about it, you put your money in the bank account, it don't give you any yield. You put your money in the bank account, you don't get anything from it but a couple of cents. So you think about it like, I was going to keep my money in the bank account anyway. So you're like, I'll take you up on that offer. So then you take that money as the investor and you go to that place like BlackRock or Hampton Lane and you give them your money and they give you something back. They'll give you these tokens. And those tokens are yield-based tokens. And you put them in your wallet or you hold them somewhere, and that will be mature once you reach the terms of that agreement, whether it's 6 months, 3 months, 12 months. Now, that process I told you is how RWAs work on a most basic level. A stable coin is an RWA. If you think about it, you take something of value, your money, your fiat, you put it into an exchange. That exchange takes that money and it gives you back USDC. It gives you back something that is of stable value. And then it says you want to stake it, and you take that stake and you invest that stake, and they give you back APR. They give you back yield. That is what we're talking about here. Now, Plume is the number one in this space globally, and they launched this year. Plume takes various RWAs. You can apply this mentality, this logic to anything that may not have been liquid before. Liquid meaning monetarily liquid. And you can create value. We could take interest payments. You could take loans, debts. That is how you have to look at RWAs. Now, Plume token is a very unique project because although institutional investors are aware or are becoming even more aware of this, retail investors, not so much. But it's the institutional investors who are the ones who put the biggest amount of money because they pull the money together, and we want to find where the money is going. And that is the conversation today. Plume is going to be a hard one to keep up with. This is only one very little thing that happened in this last week. This happened a few days ago, but you're going to get it here. Now, this is important because as we look at this conversation I'm going to give you, there's two different types of information you can get. If I'm going to be very basic, you can get hype information that is only as good as technical analysis. And that means it's good for that minute, it's good for that hour, it's good for that day, it's good for that week, and maybe good for that month, but likely not. Or you can get evergreen content. I promise you that Plume will likely be the same today as it will be 3 years from now. Bitcoin is the same as it was in 2010 as it is now. There might be people building on top of it, but Bitcoin is still the same. That's what's the advantage of my platform is you have an opportunity to not just learn about something, but to apply that logic to other things. Now, what's that conversation about? Well, let's show you right now. Let's pull this up so you can see it. Plume token is stacking the Dinero. Now, I played off of words over here, but what am I talking about? Plume token announced that they acquired another cryptocurrency blockchain company called Dinero. Now, Plume to acquire Dinero, accelerating institutional ETH, SOL, and BTC expansion. Now, this was discussed recently. This announcement came out. And the thing that's so interesting about it is Dinero has already been in the market. Now, so the question you have to ask yourself when we're thinking about these partnerships and we think about acquiring, if we take the time to really find out what does the thing do and what does this mean? Well, let's talk about this announcement. So talking about this announcement, I'm going to pull this up for you. Don't read it to you because you may not have seen this before. So as we see here, we have Dinero crypto project. What is it? Who is it? It's built on ETH's fastest growing liquid staking protocol. They specialize in liquid staking tokens, LSTs, across multiple blockchains, not just Ethereum, but also Solana, Bitcoin, and more. Now, Dinero, the governance token. What else we need to find out? Plume Network, a blockchain platform focused on bringing these real-world assets and institutional finance on chain, is acquiring Dinero. They didn't say partner, they say acquiring. The deal expands Plume's reach into Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin's institutional staking and yield products. At the same time, Plume has also earned SEC approval as a registered transfer agent, meaning it can legally manage digital securities and shareholder records in the US, a big compliance milestone. Come on now. I know you know. I told you this is going to happen, but you might be just tuning in. I don't know what happened today, but I was in there minding my own underdog research business. And I didn't say business, but business. You got to put an extra is with it. And all of a sudden, I started getting notifications. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm looking, and YouTube is notifying me. Why now? Why are so many people jumping in and looking at my platform? And so I open up the analytical part of my platform, and what are they looking at? You know what they're looking at? The zero knowledge profits. They, the public, you underdogs, you already were here. You was here 1 year before the general public found this channel and said, hey, there's something about this. There's something happening. How's he able to see the future? I'm not seeing the future. What I'm doing is literally just giving you the researchable facts and breaking it down in a way that you can follow along with me instead of hyping you up. And these things take time to develop. Let me wrap up everything for you and bring this conversation to a head. I want you to stay connected and watch the connected tissue. My link's right there. You can see my private network, or you can go and get connected in my playlist in the series. Stay connected. Until next time, this has been Underdog Research Channel. Take care.
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Oh my God.